All righty. All righty. So I called the Cancer Association of America. How did I find these people? I was inquiring about talcum powder because baby powder, talcum powder gives you cancer now. So I called these guys. I was like, "What do you guys? What's your recommended alternative use that does not give cancer?" And she gave me some type of powder. I've never heard about this. It's called arrowroot powder. The arrowroot. But no, so they put in this nurse, and they're like, if you have any other questions, we'll send a nurse to talk to you. And she's a 31-year radiation specialist nurse, and she gets on, and I already know that she's trying to control the conversation. And I was like, lady, look, the reason why she had called me is because I had inquired to the Cancer Association of America and to the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, about what is known and called as vitamin B17. And she was just trying to tell me, like, from the get-go, like, it's snake oil. And I was like, well, okay, well, hang on a minute. But you haven't given me any statistics or facts or anything to prove that it's wrong or that it's bad or that it has side effects. But at the same time, I went back, I reverted the conversation. I said, well, wait, why did the FDA ban this completely from the market? Why would you ban a vitamin? And I was like, are you serious to tell me that the vitamin itself was dangerous, more dangerous than the cancer? And she said, sir, we're just not having a fruitful conversation. I have to take another call. It was funny. If it wasn't going her way to brainwash and propaganda to you to chemotherapy, she was not going to have any part in it. And I said, it's snake oil to talk about a vitamin. There's people that say that THC oil and CBD oil and all that has an effect in fighting cancer as well. But I wasn't even directed towards that. I was just inquiring about a vitamin. I said, vitamin B17, why was it banned? Give me the negative side effects and inform me as a medical professional, a 31-year radiology nurse, tell me why that vitamin B17 was so harmful. And she was just ramming down my throat about how wonderful chemotherapy was. And I said, lady, chemotherapy, in all intents and purposes, from this conversation, is not something that I'm supportive of for any reason. I know my friend's mom died from chemotherapy. She had cancer, and it was lung cancer. But what actually killed his mom was the chemotherapy treatment. Is what killed his mom. And she said, well, we would just want the cure for cancer rather than do all this treatment. And I said, but you guys are the medical field, medicine, and I you can't tell me that of all the experimentation and chemistry and labs and funding and all the money they've had to this point, that they don't know what it actually is. Like, if you believe that, man, you believe in, you're easily deceived, because they know. And I called her out, and she said, well, what do you think is an alternative? And I said, lady, the reason you guys use chemotherapy is it's a penny bank of wealth. It is literally a self-funneling channel of wealth. And you guys are guaranteed to get that wealth because you guys play life and death in your hands. You're like, well, we hope that we could cure cancer, but we have to do chemo. And somebody that's in a situation where they're told by a medical professional, like, hey, you only got 4 months to your dead, to your terminal. They're going to do anything they can to do that. And a lot of them will just take mainstream's word for it. They're like, yeah, that sounds true. And, yeah, I'm going to do that. And it's insane. It's incredible. It's like, are you serious? Are you really serious that you're not even going to look into maybe the harm and side effects of what chemotherapy actually does to you? And don't even mention, if you survive, about how much damage your body has now been subjugated to, because, internally filled with radiation is not going to help you in your life. If anything, later in life, you're going to have more health concerns and problems than when you first started out. So you know, really look into this, because speaking from personal account, uh, she died from the chemo, not the lung cancer itself. And I have an uncle right now. He's dying of stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and it sucks. Pretty good save, everything else, but this is the reality of this place, is that these people are not here to help you. And I know that that's the mainstream notion, is that they're wonderful, loving human beings, and they just want to see the best for everyone. But they don't care, man. The doctors, they want to see that fat check in the bank, and they're not the next person. They're going room to room. They're like, well, Mrs. Wambus, we're sorry that you have a terminal brain tumor, and we're going to give you chemo, and we're going to hope that you pull through. And immediately he walks out the room and goes to Mr. Walker's room, and he's like, hey, Mr. Walker, sorry you got stage 3 liver cancer. I believe that chemo would be successful in your state, and we have a high success rate here at this hospital. We're going to see you home. And then in the next room, Mrs. Livingston. Hey, Miss Livingston. We saw that you have even like leukemia. Hey, we got leukemia, blood cancer. Sorry about that, Miss Livingston. This hospital, we take pride in the health of our patients. We've cured so many people. Here's the list, and you're signed on to a good care healthcare research provider, and we just want the best for you. And we're hoping that you're going to be okay and pull through, and we just want the best for you and your family. But we're there with you, and we're going to always be right by your side. And then to the next. And then right to the next. And they say this to people like Hallmark cards, and I guarantee you, out of those 3 people he spoke to, they're all going to die. And they're going to die, and it's designed that way, that they're going to die. It's on purpose that these people will go to the grave based on these people's obsession of greed and false, it's malpractice, But hey, because I don't have a 12-year piece of paper, what do you have to say in the matter? And people will always fold like lawn chairs to anybody that has more behind their name. They're like, oh, well, this person's more of a professional in this field. I'm gonna go along with what they have to say. It's like, go for it. I don't care. They, instead of seeing his educational background, though, they should look at his bank account, and you should see what motivates him to do the job, or she do the job that they do. Absolutely. Cancer, the whole industry of cancer, is a money-making business. That's all it is, and that's always has been. It's always will be. And the cure to cancer, it's been found. It definitely has been found. It's just never going to be released to the general public. They can't make no money from that, and they're going to help mankind. You think mankind knows universal truths to this place? Do you really think that they're going to give that to the general public to actually help people's lives? No, you can't make money off of it. And they're never going to, it's always at the bottom of a vault, or through tremendous amounts of research that you can even come close to finding this stuff. But it's there, 100%. The Roman Catholic Church has 2.2 billion followers in it. They have a leader called the Pope. He's over in the Vatican City. In the Vatican, they have their own bank. Yeah. Their own bank. And in that bank, there's a vault. It's the Vault of the Vatican. And in that vault, they have stuff. They have interesting artifacts that the general public has no idea about. And you never will. You never will. But they have control of that. And that control is their control. And they're not going to let that be the general public for whatsoever reason, ever. And that's just to go to show that there's an example that there's things on this earth that they know well about, and they're never going to give that information to you, ever. And by the blessed chance that you come across and find this information, be fortunate, because not too many people ever lay eyes on what you found. It's your own personal Easter egg, and hopefully you can use it for good. But this is a controlled and regulated reality on all fronts, all angles. They control all flow of information, all source of information, and this is how they mandate and totally usurp absolute totalitarian control over everything. Do you really think that the president of the United States, being in office for almost 2.5 years now, that the biggest story to his whole campaign was the Mueller investigation or Russian collusion. They've been talking about it for 2.5 years. There's other stuff going on in the world, 365 days a year, and that was the biggest mainstream talking point. It was all lies, It's all it is, a big smokescreen, big distraction. And of course, why? What was that all for? This big up and coming war. Got to get the country ready for war, going back to war, going with the war of Iran or war in Venezuela. Who cares? The military industrial complex, same like cancer industry. Money, baby. They don't care about any of the soldiers getting blown to bits and having PTSD and trauma and come back to VA and not getting benefits. They don't care about any of that. They care about willing soldiers to go in, to carry the weapons, to go fight the wars, to just go and fund their own personal finance, their own personal franchise. That's all it is. Military industrial complex facility. They'll put a medal on your heart and say, thanks for your service. They'll give you the folded flag and then say, and give you the bagpipes and write you off. That's all it is, man. Expendable. Mankind at a large majority on this earth, man, they're expendable. And, I am sorry if you do have family or somebody that does struggle with cancer and stuff like that. I've gone through that, and it's a reality of this life. And, just, be there with them and, enjoy that time you have. But it is sad. It's tragic. I know they're lying. And, hopefully, some people can organize and prove that they are. But you're going against so much money that, hey, money talks here. And, nobody wants to lose that fat check. I got to have that nice car. I got to have my nice house. But it's blood money, man. It totally is. They know the treatment they're giving these people is going to kill them. They don't care, man. They're honestly looking at these people with money signs in their eyes saying, I could make a lot of money off this person's treatment. At the death and expense of what? Human life. That just killed somebody. They're dead. But it also gave that individual a lot of money. It gave the radiologists a lot of money. The nurses, they got paid. Everybody gets paid, hey. Everybody gets paid. So, it's unfair. It's one-sided. I know that I would never want to die with that on my soul and on my conscience that I made and profited off other people's death. That'd be something that I would really would have trouble with. Like, I couldn't sleep. I'd have a hard time in my life. So I won't do that, but a lot of people will, and that sucks that that's their notion. That's how they want to go. Maybe it's just a more value of appreciating human life and what it is and what that means to people and person's families and just the happiness that comes from that and everything. I don't want to take that from them. It's not something I want to do, but people are okay with making that decision. So yeah, but ask yourself a question: why would a vitamin be banned? A vitamin. Is a vitamin really going to be more harmful than the cancer itself? They banned the vitamin B17 in '95, and they also banned the tree. There's a tree, bitterroot almond tree. It actually produces the most vitamin B17 on Earth. FDA banned it in full. They're like, get rid of it all. And for a vitamin, that seems kind of excessive. But I would look into it. For sure. But if anything else, look in one more thing. There's been trials and studies that people have used unadulterated THC both in oil and other form that they said that they've had high treatment success with lower stage cancers. And also I know that CBD oil definitely does help with tremors and kids that have tendencies for seizures. And also there was one other factor into what I'm trying to think. It's some type of other behavioral health kind of condition, but CBD oil actually really helped with that situation. And if you want to know a fact check on all that stuff, it came from the earth. It's how many people it's killed is zero, even to this day. And it seems a lot better option and a lot cheaper option than going and getting pumped full of radiation and destroying everything inside of your body, and your cells rot, and your hair falls out, and your blood's tainted. It seems like that'd be my choice to go first and foremost. And actually, having seen somebody gone through chemotherapy, radiation treatment, and it killed them, It's definitely something I would pay some attention to. Hey, what do you have to lose? If you're already going to die, what do you have to lose from a more painful, severe death, or by the grace of God, maybe you can pull through and you can get kicked out of your life. Those are something that you have to answer for, and I pray to God you don't get cancer. But if you do, hey, that's my choice. That's already something I've already made in my mind. Why would I make it harder on myself? So, look into that stuff. The truth is hidden from a large portion of mankind on this earth, and a lot of people never find that truth. And thanks be to God for people that sacrifice their time, their life, and their effort to just relentlessly find what they can that the mainstream is always trying to keep from you, because that is liberating. That is true freedom. And if it's truth, we want everyone to know it. Why would I want to make a buck off of it? I'd rather be universal, because that's how it is. And I guarantee the same thing is like that with energy, with free energy. I believe that there's stuff that they know what's going on, and they don't want to lose that electric bill. But look into stuff. Tesla and the coils and the coil packs and stuff. He knew what he was getting into, and a lot of people looked into that, and they also this might be a threat to our wealth, so we might need to regulate this. But there's a lot of stuff on this earth, man, that I'm telling you that they have control of, that they will never relinquish to the general majority, and they'll write you off and frame you and set you up to be killed if you ever become a threat to them. That's how they operate. That's how they work, and it's reality displays. Anyway, question everything, and just because they have a PhD and they've been doing it for 45 years is not a valid claim. It's not. It's really not. So try and test everything, and you find it in your own life to become true, and then go with it, and help others, because hey, we're all on the same place together, and we got to be here till we got to be here. So it helps if we could pass some stuff around, circulate the truth. So for the truth, keep going, truth seekers, and don't accept the general narrative. Never accept the general narrative. It's a written up bill full of lies. So you guys be blessed. Stay safe.